Hey everybody, and welcome to my N5 series where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. Today we're talking about the Dirty Wave M8 because Pop-Tart Pete wrote in and asked if I'd figured out tables, and I will just say I haven't figured them out, but I have been using them, and I've been learning a few things to do that you can do with them that I figured folks might be interested in. I was trying to find a different program that had a few more interesting things going on, but by and large, this is kind of like a drum and bass track. And I really put this together trying to use as few phrases as possible to kind of see where I could go and force myself to learn some different things. So a couple things I wanted to do was have sounds that were looping, change as much as possible. And there is a fairly good amount, especially in the drums, of things just kind of moving around. So let me show you what we have. We have a phrase here. And it's basically just taking the one sound. Oh, if we go in, there's the table, but let's go into this here. So what I've basically done is loaded up this break, and you should be able to see it's chopped up. I think it's like 64 chops or something. It's a lot of chops. But normally I would say go use slice and turn that on for file if you've chopped up in the file. And that would be cool, and then you can play each individual slice, no problem. But if you don't do that, what ends up happening is C4 will be the value that you're going to use to just play the loop. And then if you change the slice, you're basically changing the starting point. So it gives you a way to dynamically change the starting point. And now we'll go back to the pattern here where you can see play slice 1, play slice 0. So basically just at the start, play slice 1 with a chance of 30, and then a few other things with slice 2, slice 3. I'm kind of just bouncing around. And the reason why I'm putting a chance in here is it is giving us the opportunity to keep playing from wherever we started from the slice, or it'll just kind of keep flowing through. So just with that, we're getting some sounds, and then we get some re-triggers in here to force it to kind of do like triplets or other kinds of rolls. And you might be wondering, if you're already hearing it, there's some delay, some degraded sounds where it's choosing to play it degraded, and that's where the table comes in. So effectively, what's happening is I only put 4 in here, so basically 25% of the time it's going to select something. It's going to do either degradation or delay, different random degradation, or what's PLY? I forget. Is it pitch bend? No, pitch bend is something else, I think. That would be play mode, whether it's going to play backwards or not, I think. So really just trying to mix things up. So 75% of the time it's going to play a note at whatever it's chosen to play at, and the other 25% of the time it's going to do one of these other effects. You can totally load in different cells here and have it do different things, but basically the reason why this is working is if you set table tick to 0, 0, it's not going to run through the table as quickly as possible. Instead, what it's going to do is just whenever it gets a new event to start a trigger, which is just going to be each of these events in this phrase, it will then kind of just move to the next step and then decide if it's going to do something or not. So you can get very subtle effects through the table, or you can have things that are going to change it a lot. And because I've got 8 notes here, and then a thing to note is for every re-trigger, when it re-triggers, it's actually going to generate a new note. So we're going to get effectively, the longer you play this, a randomized set of things that it can choose to do, and get a kind of a random set of sounds coming out of it. So doing something like this means that even though it might be subtle, sometimes and a little bit more extreme other times, it's going to keep this movement going for just this one bar. This is really just like one bar for how it's playing, but because it's how it's re-triggering and using the table, it is getting some new effects in here. So have I figured out tables? No, but I would say this is kind of a cool thing that you can do with tables is set the table tick to 00, and then basically it's going to extend and give you an extra 3 options for things that you can do for your pattern. And if you just do the math out, which I know not always fun to do, but if you do the math out, you can kind of start getting a sense for things that will or will not sound cool, and you can decide if you want them to line up. So if I wanted to make sure all of these table ticks lined up perfectly, I would come in and make sure I had an event on every single one of these. I would have to take off the retriggers because the retriggers are regenerating the gate. And you can kind of watch how this works by, it's going to move normally it's going to take 1 step. You'll see sometimes when a retrigger comes in, it moves really fast. So, I don't know, just play around with it, keep having fun with retriggers, and see how things work together for you. Anyway, thanks for the question, Pop-Tart Pete. Everybody else, thanks for stopping by. Keep making music, keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good, and peace.